Our freedom in South Africa is reason for us to believe, because for years, our leaders in South Africa, that some of them still alive and some not, to whom we pay forever respect to, had one thing, and that thing was a never die attitude. The attitude that says, I will keep going despite what does not look great in front of me. Now, what has this got to do with football? Well, it's exactly the same in the world of football. The never die attitude, the attitude that says, I will believe and I will keep going until I reach the top of my mountain. Take a look at this. Simba, 32 years it took them to get to a CAF final. 32 years. What about Mamelodi Sundowns? Was taken 9 years to get back into a final since winning it back in 2016. And then I could bring your attention to Remo Stars out in Nigeria. Remo Stars won the Premier League in Nigeria. They were formed in 2004, and they're the second most finishing team in that league. In one season, they even lost it by just 1 goal. This season, they won the league. Same with Pyramids, who for years have had so much money being put into them. For the first time, they are about to win not only the Egyptian Premier League, but they're in the final of the Champions League as well. RS Berkane, a team that was formed back in 1938. For the first time this season, they've won the league in Morocco. Never stop believing. Because, hey, you could be number 9 now. You could, stand in the way of winning your... Well, I'm telling you something so important.
You could be what?
I'm saying you could be number 9, but
why
you never
that
know.
number? Why
One day you could be number 1.
Why that number?
It's a nice number. I like it.
Okay, all right, okay, let's go for it.
Coach Dudu, I say all of this to say that African football has not only been televised and seen by the masses, but it's a beautiful time to be African.
Absolutely. You are seeing a magnitude of players coming through and showing their prowess, even the coaches. Mina but ngishaya isifuba ngiyabonga I move as a South African to say we'll have a team from South Africa in one final and have another coach in another final.
It's a beautiful thing. We're going to be telling you about the weekend that was here on Soccer Zone. Dr. Khumalo, as well, of course, as Coach Lulu, are going to be joining us. But that's not all we have. We also have Mr. Ref. He makes the decision that count Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch. They're all sitting at home watching because they want to know from you, Tatani, what's going on. Victor Hlungwane.
Today, VAR denied Stellenbosch goal and a penalty. Was the VAR correct? Don't go away.
We really do appreciate that. Remember that if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to send your views on the show, if you want to send us your videos, even asking the ref, asking Mazola Mulefe, asking any of us any questions, all you have to do is uya kwinkundla zenjabulo nenxumano usitshele nje ukuthi ufuna ukuthini kubuza umbuzo wakho kusithumelana noma iku-DM noma usitheke nje ukuthi SABC Sport. So ithatha ke lo video sidlala bukhoma la ku-SABC1 Soccer Zone sikuphendulele nombuzo wakho. Nangomunye uyeza kuzokutshela indaba ezisematheni. It is the news with Jekonia, the Super Channel.
Andile ha re qale re egepeta ba re ditaba ha di fele. Marcel Koller sacked by the Egyptian Giants. Hatima ha re tshu Sundowns, causing an upset in that Cairo International Stadium. They've now hired a former defender and a legend of the club, so to speak, Emad El Nahassan. He takes over for the remainder of the Egyptian league, even though you said Pyramids are on the way to winning the league title there. Staying in North Africa, Coach Rulani, you talked about never giving up and never say die attitude. That's the president of Wydad Casablanca. He's begging Coach Rulani Mokoena, who is on his way to a learnership, I'm told. So if you don't see him on the bench in the next couple of days, because the sporting director is currently taking over as he goes to a learnership for the next 10 days or so. But he's being begged for staying in Wydad Casablanca for the remainder of the season, or even trying to take them to the Club World Cup, Andile.
Before I go to Dr. Khumalo, so what we're saying is, as we stand now, in spite of all that we're hearing, Rulani is still the coach of Wydad.
He's still the coach. He confirmed that he wants to leave at the end of the 3 matches, but the club president now says he wants him to take the club to the FIFA World Cup.
Okay?
So chances are Rulani will Sundowns.
Good.
World Cup.
I mean, the most important thing is you're in Manchester City.
But again, you question the treatment that South Africans get outside our country, or maybe say in the continent. Asibuke uRulani ukuthi uhambo lakhe bolunjani. Uma efika kuWydad bongana umuntu abadlali bebangekho. He signed 29 players including Lodge and Mailula. Ukhumbule ukuthi bakuloan. Angithi. Manje inkinga andile. Akusi abaphathi, inkinga abalandeli beWydad. Yibo laba abahlukumeza uRulani. And if ngibheka ilo track record yakhe, he played 35. Drawn 14, won 14, na 7, uhluleka 7. Which is a good record.
Under 40%.
Phezu kwaloko uthi la kuma corridor equipment yokuqeqesha abadlali uzitholela yena. But then manje ke inkinga kuphi lapho? Ayenzeni ke manje ngoba I mean kunala kuthiwa mase ngivala ke ngathi uke wahamba nje 8 months angakatholi ushintshi lo
hayi ufana Mazolo unokuthi imbhadale once a year. So abantu abanechweba labo. Mazolo, what else you have?
Yeah, impa he Rulani Mokwena unathola tšhelete ya hae Mamelodi Sundowns. The reason why Sundowns are planning a way forward in terms of their transfer approach, we've got an exclusive from our friends out at Transfer Room who gave us this never-seen footage and interview with the sporting director talking about how Sundowns will approach the next transfer window.
We have also, based on the transfer room, done a few deals over the last 2 years. For example, Marcelo Allende, Esquivel, and Tasrik Matthews. So in general, we are using it quite a lot. We are here to do business, and we're quite successful on it. That's why you come to the transfer room summit, because South Africa is far away. You know, it's far away from Europe, it's far away from South America, which are generally the markets we are looking at, both buying players but also selling players. So to come here, for me, it's an opportunity without traveling more than once to meet a lot of people and get some good connections. But we are Mamelodi Sundowns, and we have big visions, and we always try to set the standards and raise the bar for South African and African football in general.
Well, that's Fleming Bear talking about the transfer movements. I did want to get Coach Dludlu's opinion on this story as we discussed off air around the transfer approach from a Mamelodi Sundowns point of view.
Yeah, I think it's going to be important for them to be specific into saying the type of players that they want in there. Do they want a striker? Because already umshishi besazi ukuthi aba renew into yakhe contract yakhe. So it's going to be key for them to make sure that they bring in younger players that will speak to how the coach wants to play. So there's no blaming who did we buy, who didn't we buy. That also speaks to the club culture and their ambitions, because Mauya Club World Cup and if and when Mamelodi Sundowns wins the Champions League.
If and when. Mazola, Masheling, Chankura, 50 million.
Machankura, unfortunately, I don't believe Samir Nukovic is going to get his money from Royal AM. But Kibwile Leloya Davo Lasic out in Switzerland, he says he's preparing in the next week or so to write to FIFA to ask for the next step, because 15 million, Nikki, 15 million. Why what? And then our final story, Andile, it concerns Andre de Jong, a New Zealand international. I had an exclusive with him on the sidelines of that CAF Confed match after they lost to Simba. He says he thinks he's done enough to earn a call-up more national team here, New Zealand.
I hope so, and that's almost why I'm a bit disappointed today, because when you get into a final, then there's lots of eyes on you, just within Africa, of course, but also far away in New Zealand. So I'm really hoping that that door is still open. Obviously, they've qualified for the World Cup next year, so for me to push my way into that, just need to start scoring a few goals and for the team to continue doing well.
Thank you very much, Mazola. But before you go anywhere, I know your stories are done. I need you to answer something for me. We've got a fan that loves the show that sent us a video asking a question about his beloved Kaizer Chiefs. But I know that this is for Mazola. Have a look.
#AskSoccerZone. Exandile le para la le para harang hama para le para khopolo mbuyisetse ta viki mo khopolo mbuyisetse ta viki mo gore go khefe re tsene bjang mo khalabe khoskalla gore re tsene bjang ingeni njani narila ingeni njani Jimmy Mago the busy gonna from say betango.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's simple. 4 teams enter CAF inter-club competitions, but with Orlando Pirates set to finish either second, first, or even third, it means the CAF Confed Cup spot has already been taken. So Kaizer Chiefs, who face them in the Nedbank Cup, then automatically assume that spot. So that's how Kaizer Chiefs go in via the back door.
Sengatsho nje la eMzansi ukhona izimanga eziningi. Hey, imanga nje yazi. Okwe question into enhle. Uyiquestiona kanjani into enhle? Hawu bakithi. Kubi kuyabhubha siyakhala. Kwenzeka into enhle sisabuza.
Yes.
Kusanethene washa igena lapha ke u Christian Saile sakhamba isikhathi asilinde umuntu ngoba ke isikhathi kwasona asinasikhathi sifuna lapha ke uBonginkosi ngaba 18 penalty Eugene Mhluli uthi Nyiko Mobi ngaphandle kokujikajika chitela Nkaki
Kaizer Chiefs has suffered their 11th defeat of the season as they lost 2-1 to Marumo Gallants, who came from a goal down to snatch the 3 points at the FNB Stadium in a league encounter.
Wonke umuntu la akekho umuntu odinga ukumotivate manje ngenxa ke yemidlalo ke ntshosho emibili emkhulu abazoba nayo ke yokudlala ke iSoweto derby asibheke nje la yaphambili iyona ke Kaizer Chiefs lilepho ulibeka phakathi what a goal Ayincenga nje asibheke nje nange uDuba ecisa ke efuna ushabalala thini noPepe uthi umdlalo obuhle moqhubeke noma ke ushabalala efaka ikhanda lapha kwafaka unyawo uthi noPepe cha kulungile asibheka na umsendami wasebenza goalkeeper iTuba no phakathi walibeka nethini ngempela uTrevor Matiane i-center back abeliphakamisa ke le free kick kunelinye ithuba lapha bayibeka phakathi ibhola wathi uGasa cha aliye center ibhola igoli impela alithintwa kamuntu lisuka kumsendami nange dansa Joshua bekuphephile yonke into lapha 2-1 iscore
uSuthu olumabheshankone lubuyile futhi lilwela i-top 8 bashaye abakhaya i-Golden Arrows kunempela veki kumdlalo obukade useSugar Ray Xulu Stadium. The only goal in this Durban derby came 7 minutes from full time, and it was Itiosa Igodaro scoring his first goal since February with a powerful header off Tebang Moremi's cross as Usuthu moved to the 6th spot on the log. Sekhukhune United missed an opportunity to consolidate their place in the top 3 with just a few matches left this season as they were held to a 1-1 draw by TS Galaxy at Dobsonville Stadium izolo. Kuthiwa isizini yokubuya kukaKeletso Magalo ayile nathi siyayivuma. Izolo uthwale amadoda amane wathi kuVictor Ohizu mithatha 1-0 kwibabina noko. That's also assist number 10 for Magalo this season, but it took the Rockets only 5 minutes to respond. Kamogelo Sibilibili with the equalizer inside the box from a Max Munyayi assist as they pushed hard to draw level. 1-1 it ended.
Let's take a look at the results from the weekend. The Kaizer Chiefs dropping points after being in pole position, beaten by Marumo Gallants 2-1 there. We're still going to look at that second goal there with Davik when he does come in. TS Galaxy drawing with Sekhukhune 1-1. What does that mean for the bottom of the log, Doggy? Take me through it.
Yeah, no kusho ukuthi ke akuyambula kwembesa from number 9 nje ukuya le.
But look at the difference, Doggy. I mean, there's only 7 points between 20 and 30.
Ukuthi cha 7 points kudlala nje 2 games la uthola 6 points hayi no so sondele lapha ku 30 points so kuzomela baqinise iGallants neKaizer Chiefs baqinise kakhulu ngoba hayi mfethu hayi and manje masobheka nelo Cape Town City yakokota super sport. Hey, watch out.
Chippa United has done well to keep themselves in the top 8. Tabo September has done well there. Polokwane City, however, they've dropped points a lot. Sesbongoguti, they're still in the top 8. Lo sim highlighted Pink Lapayana. He's bound to play the CAF Confederations Cup, the one that Stellenbosch just crashed out of. Lapha phezulu kuyozala nkomo siyobona khona.
Of course, Stellenbosch still have a game in hand there, so they could still topple Sekhukhune there, but Sekhukhune will want to get back into African football with the CAF Confederations. Big game this weekend, Saturday, Kaizer Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates, the first of 2 derbies. This one in the league, just as important for both teams. Chiefs want to get out from that bottom 9. Orlando Pirates want to chase Mamelodi Sundowns. This is the biggest game of the weekend. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be live on SABC1 and then TS Galaxy versus Richards Bay on Sunday, the 4th of May. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, there's confederations of football with this man right here and also Champions League, Sundowns and Orlando Pirates.
Ukipa asuke khona, which is individual brilliance, and we have to give it to him. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hey, Liliana, wow.
Good technique.
Very good technique.
Speaking of techniques,
yeah.
There was his 5th goal. Another person scoring goals as well, using technique,
Nkota. Now, we're highlighting player pyramids, 7 of them. Pirates now is getting what we call a transition from defense to attack. Now, the ball is played to Nkota. That's Nkota, lo opeti bola, but 2 players only make it. Laba, yabona ukuthi ubheka ubani manje, ubheka umfukeng because mawubheka lapha, phakathi kwalama defender amabili, umakhupha. Ubathathile wabayisale kodwa lo wahlakanipha wal blocker. The beauty about it Nkota ke walandela wa finisher second goal, but there, this is the trick. Again, another technique, inside step, unbelievable. Well done to the boys, they did well. Unfortunately, they couldn't progress to the final. Look at that, the inside step, we kill it between the keeper and the goal post. Yes.
Look at these boys. I mean, we're looking at Jamal just now.
Yeah.
Here's 2 20-year-old forwards in South Africa who've done wonders. These are their stats in the Champions League.
Sathini angithi kukhona la sike sakhuluma ngabadlali abancane abaqhamuka emaqembini njengabo Orlando Pirates, abo Stellenbosch. Sithi bafana i-South African football will benefit out of these boys, and this is exactly what we are showing now ukuthi lokho besikhulume ngako kuqala. Now, kuyavela manje semaphethelweni ukuthi siqede i-league. Now, this is so unbelievable. The 2 youngsters at Orlando Pirates have surpassed the expectations, and where I'm seated, I'm very proud of them, and I wish them good they can continue where they left off.
9 goals they scored in the Champions League. But you got to ask yourself, so what went wrong? Well, for that, sanamukela nonke kwindawo ngendawo la nhleli khona ngicela ke uthi ngifunde nama-tweets nisibhalele la usandile hlongs uthi sometimes it's not about performances but it is about having a right mentality and also able to understand each other. Angitholi kahle ukuthi uthini lapho usandile kodwa ngizophinde ngiyibhoye futhi. Nokwatana says so the more Stellies and Bucks continue to play in CAF, our Bafana coach will have a pool of players to choose from because a bigger pool has always come from Mamelodi Sundowns, of course. So I admire that thinking to say with the Orlando Pirates as well as Stellenbosch also contributing in these tournaments, it means there'll be a bigger pool of players for Hugo Bruce. Right now, I need to hand you over to a man who's got a pool of questions about the decisions. It's the referee.
Yeah, we're starting at Betway FNB Stadium, Kaizer Chiefs, Marumo Gallants. There's a goal scored. Was it scored in accordance with the loss of the game or not? Let's go to Law 11. Law 11 talks about interfering with an opponent. Interfering with an opponent means, let's go to the last one, which is very, very, very important for us. It says making an obvious action that impacts on the ability of the opponent to play the ball. So let's go to the clip and see if indeed the player interferes with an opponent. That's our focus today. We'll see the Putenya Nangere heading the ball or trying to play the ball. What does the law says? It says making an obvious action. If you look at it there, you'll see that he is in an offside position. You can see the leg is in an offside position. So now when the ball is played, the assistant referees are advised to wait and see if he will interfere or he will involve himself in active play. So let's go for it. Let's see what he does there from an offside position. He jumps there. So when he jumps, he's now making an obvious action that disturbed Bavuma there to play the ball. So therefore, offside incorrect decision was given as Sisase Kangalis.
So manje izoba ne review or
Right. Let's go to the next one. We're going now to CAF. We're going to CAF. Here we're also talking of interfering with an opponent again. Right. Let's go and see whether De Jong interfered with play or with an opponent. You can see Tatas cross the ball there. Here we had VAR. So when we have VAR can see if there's an offside. They can review using video footage. Here's the referee there signaling offside. Why offside? We can clearly show you that De Jong's leg or knee was in an offside position. But who played the ball? The defender played the ball. Here's the leg there. It's in an offside position. When the cross was played, and then the defender played the ball, but because De Jong challenged the defender. So when he challenged the defender, he's now interfering with an opponent. He did not play the ball. He challenged an opponent for the ball. So correct decision by VAR to disallow this goal for offside. Right, let's go to the last one. Again, there's a penalty. If it was not for VAR, is selling boys, number final. But if VAR recall, as more than would know why this penalty was disallowed. The ball makes contact with the hand. The hand is in a natural position of a running player at that particular moment. So we can justify that when the player runs, he will put his hands like that. So the ball makes contact with the hand in a natural position, hand on the body. Referee awarded a penalty. VAR say, hi, ka. No, indeed, the hand was in a natural position of a running player. Therefore, he disallowed the penalty, or he overturned the decision of the penalty and awarded a drop ball. So this is correct decision by VAR to disallow the penalty or to overturn the penalty decision.
Rogers and Hamsdale, they did the song in 1945. It was called You Will Never Walk Alone. That was Liverpool's anthem nowadays. Well, it rang loudly in Liverpool.